Okay, week 14 in the books. A little late. I apologize. We are about halftime of this Niners Rams game. It's 3-0, about to go into half. So I know some analysis will be a little weird because I know a couple guys are already playing, but it's the earliest I can do it, boys. So, all right. Not even going to recap last week. I'm just going to kind of get into the final power rankings. I guess I'll recap real quick. I beat Tyler 144 to 120. Carbs 159, Matt 98, Ted 105, Reed 160, Rusty 86, Bobby 64, and Brad 152, Duels 97. So that was your week 13. So half the guys are in, half the guys are out. We've got Brad versus Tyler, and we've got Reed versus Carbs going on right now. We'll kind of just recap the teams that did not make it. Bobby's 12. We kind of know the situation. Bobby's team's going to be awesome. Will it be next year? I don't know. Will it be in a couple years? You bet you. Brock Bowers going to be a stud. Dooley's at 3-10. Again, draft picks are there. There's a little bit of foundation with the team. Just again, wasn't really Dooley's year this year. Rusty, a couple wins in a row at 5-9 at the 10 spot. But again, some good young draft picks coming in. Trading Debo, trading Tyreek Hill to me. Probably worked out because Debo has not done dick. But I think Rusty's got a pretty good team for setting up long term. Sidnam at 6-8. Look, the luck kind of ran out. I thought Sidnam's team was good, wasn't great. You know what I mean? So I think 6-8 was probably the record. Joe Burrow kind of carried the team early on. Do I think Sidnam's team needs a little bit of restructuring? Yeah, I do. But there was a good fight at the end. There was a chance to make the playoffs. Matt at 6-8. Listen, you were 0-4 to start the season. Tough to overcome all the points that he had against him. So I thought, if you look at it in another way, when another finished 6-4 in the last 10 games. So, not a bad way to go. Ted at 7-7. Tough loss to Reed. Needed to beat Reed to get into that spot. If you want to say that you're the best of the non-playoff teams, you can say that. But Ted's had a really good run, and I think his team will be back next year. And then I just kind of did the rank. So I did do Brad at 6, Reed at 5, because Reed's team does have significantly more points scored for. But I have Tyler at 4, Carbs at 3, me at 2, and Gaddy at 1. So me and Gaddy chilling, having the time of our lives, not having to worry about playing this week. And I kind of did break down. I know Matt did an awesome job. Shout out to Kamish. Great job kind of breaking down the matchups. I had a little bit more of detail, and I still wanted to get into that. But, if you want to check out Matt's text from earlier, Matt did a really good job there. Get a little cozy as I got my Shrek Christmas sweater. So changing scenery a little bit. A little more cozy on my couch here. Might do this just long term because it's a lot more comfortable than the table. And if you want to check, Reed, the curtain is open. So I know you were probably worried about that. And like, well, what's going on with Kevin's curtain? Well, now you know. So I'll break down the first matchup, Carbs versus Reed. Listen, I like Carbs a lot this week. And it's not just because Puka is not doing much in this game. There's still a lot of game left. Here's why I don't like Reed this week. No Pickens is tough, man. Listen, George Pickens had a great season. I think he is a number one receiver there with the Steelers. Not having him is going to be big. Now he might play. From everything I'm seeing, he's not going to play. The Green Bay's run defense was really good against against Detroit's running backs last week. So, can Seattle, even with Charbonnet or Walker, get that kind of production against the Green Bay? And does Breece Hall play? Breece Hall's questionable too. So there's some injuries there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, should have a good game. I think Puka still have time, so you never know in this game, although the weather doesn't look great. Jalen Hurts against the Steelers. So I just don't love the matchups this week for Reed's team. Whereas I look at Carbs, Josh Allen is going to have a really good game. That is going to be a shootout between them and Detroit. I just feel like Allen is going to put up points because they're going to have to keep up with that Detroit offense because they couldn't stop the Rams offense last week. They're not going to be able to stop Detroit consistently. I think Allen is going to have to go off. Montgomery, again, that Bills run defense is not good. I expect Montgomery and Gibbs to probably both score in that game. I like Waddle versus the Texans. The Miami offense has been really working well, and the Texans' pass defense is weaker than their run defense, so I can expect some more passing from Tua in that situation. And I love Drake London against the Raiders. Raiders' pass defense is god-awful. They have the most pass attempts against them all season. So I just like the matchups for Carbs' team better than Reed's team this week, which is why I'm going to go with Carbs. Brad versus Tyler. Interesting game. Brad, kind of had one of those underdog kind of seasons and has kind of bounced back. Tyler, his team's been very good, but there's been some bad. I like Brad to win this week. Here's a couple reasons why. Number one, again, I said it with Josh Allen. There's going to be a shootout there in Detroit. I think Goff's going to have to throw the ball against this Buffalo offense because they're going to be scoring points. Excuse me. So I think Jared Goff's going to put up some numbers there. I like the Pollard matchup versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been really bad against running backs. They've just been a bad defense all year. Chase Brown's had a really good season. I just think Tennessee has been kind of on their way out, and their defense is not as good as it was early in the year, so I do like Chase Brown there. Nico Collins off a bye against a Miami pass defense that gave up a ton of yards last week to Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. So I just think Nico Collins is going to have a good week coming off a bye. And Addison against a bad Browns defense. So I like all those matchups for Brad in that situation, whereas I look at Tyler's team. Listen, Henry has to score a lot against a god-awful Giants run. Not only just a god-awful Giants team, but they're the worst run defense in the NFL. Henry has to go off. I think his over-under on FanDuel right now is 100.5 rushing yards. Like, anytime you have triple digits rushing yards, that is as crazy. So Derrick Henry has to go off. He's going to need him to go 3 touchdowns and probably put up maybe 30 to 40 points. Saquon, not sure how he does against the Steeler defense, but, if Saquon's going to have a good game, I'm not worried about that. Is Noah Gray really going to step up? Is Tank Dell really going to step up? And that's going to be the key. I kind of like the Rodgers play against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. I like that matchup. Again, I said it early in the year. I think Tyler's team's got a really good. Cooper Kupp has not done much in this game, so that has obviously hurt my kind of evaluation on this game. If Cooper Kupp was going off, then I would think differently. But I think Brad's team has better matchups. I think the way Brad's team is playing, despite not having McCaffrey, I just think Brad has the advantage this week. So with my predictions, Carbs would play me in the next round, and Brad would play Gaddy in the next round. So that's my preview. I will see some of you guys on Sunday at the Sportsbook, but if not, we will talk next week, and that's all I got.